Good morning. Yesterday we had our first day off after a 7-day run, so that was very much needed. But I had some chores to get through, some stuff to get done. Now, I do my best to hide it when I make these videos, but for the longest time I had a whole pile of stuff in the back. Just things that had accumulated from, I'm embarrassed to say, my prior job. And I kept saying, oh, I'll get around to it. I'll clean it up at some point. I just never did. And if you remember me mentioning in previous videos, there was a long time where I wasn't working. I had plenty of opportunities to go back there and clean it up. But it was just, it's one of those things that was an annoyance. It felt a little daunting. And I realized now that I've started working, I'm beholden to sticking to a schedule and, showing up for my lead and my team. I've gotten back into the practice of taking care of business, as it were. Now, I didn't take care of everything that I set out to do yesterday. I mentioned I was going to make a video. I didn't do that. I ended up relaxing most of the day. But in the morning, I was still in that work mode. I was still ready to get things done. And so I got up and I went through and cleaned out the back of my car. And, well, I have to say, at the very least, I feel relieved. Sorry, that semi was really close to me just now. I don't know what he was doing. Granted, it's like, what time is it? It's 4:50 right now, so I don't know if these people are just getting up or if they've been driving all night, so I have to be extra conscientious. But anyways, it felt like an accomplishment cleaning everything out of here. But sometimes, unless there is some sort of external force giving me momentum or setting things into motion, helping me set things into motion, I should say, it's really hard to do that on my own. Some people are excellent about this, and this is a topic that's come up time and time again in the content that I release. And part of the exercise of making these videos is having the ability to show up for myself without it being at someone else's request. But I think a tool, in some ways that's overlooked, is actually showing up for someone else regularly. Teaches you to show up for yourself. So whether it's a job that you have, or maybe it's a group activity, and the example I'll give you for that is my friend. He has a podcast, and he didn't know how to put together a podcast before I started helping him. And the activity of doing that with him every week allowed me to sort of refocus on my own tasks. Not as well, I'd say, as the work I'm doing right now, because this is a lot more grueling and it requires constant attention. And like I mentioned, we worked for 7 days, and every single one of those days started around 5:30, 6 a.m. Today is 5:15. But that requirement just conditions you for getting other things done, not seeing them as being so grueling or daunting. So take advantage of that. Even if you're not waking up this early, or your job isn't the most exciting, or you don't have a job. Well, I shouldn't say if you don't have a job. If you have one, then use that to your advantage. Because it's not, life is not about waking up every morning and repeating the same cycle so that you can survive. I know that's what it feels like, but it only feels like that because that's how we conceptualize it. Okay, and it might also feel that way because it kind of sucks you don't get paid that much. Well, I'm doing okay here, but a lot of jobs are not paying people what they're worth. But in any regard, that's a whole separate can of worms. We're here to look at the positive aspect of it, or how we can turn it into a positive. Because, I'm not a fan of getting up here on my soapbox and complaining. There's enough complaining out there as is. And those aren't illegitimate either. I'm not saying that to insinuate anything. There's a lot of reasons to be upset, but that can be exhausting. So my goal is to try to find the things that will work for you, or help you find the things that will work for you, because I find that my life is a little bit more enjoyable when I reconceptualize in that way. So anyways, before I start rambling about nothing, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. You guys know where to find me. I'm looking forward to streaming again towards the end of this run, this work run that I'm doing, which will be in about 2 weeks. I can't believe it's already been that much time that's passed. And let's hope, for my sake, that I'm able to maintain my video consistency after that point, since I won't be driving around at 4 in the morning. So you can find me on Twitch. Link should be in the description. Discord as well. Not that I'm super active on either of those, but if you say hi, if you have the bravery to say hi in the ghost town that is my Discord, you'll probably get a response. Dex or someone else will be in there. They'll say hi to you. Panda will say hi to you. Or they'll leave a link to some meme. If that happens to anyone, let me know in the comments. I'll be super stoked if that did. And then I'll probably read it in a week, just because I'm not at my computer. Anyways, I'm already rambling. Have a great day. I'll talk to you in the next one.